Hey everybody, it's Jason with Parallel Reality coming back with you today with an article from Outkick that says, or from January 18th, that's entitled Game of Thrones creators share insane answer on what they'd change. And I saw that and I immediately thought I have to find out what these guys were looking to change because, yeah, it didn't exactly end well, I think, as we can all pretty much agree on. So I was like, let's see what they changed. And I already know the answer because I read the article already. It's nothing that you'd be expecting and it's really stupid and it kind of makes you go, so why were these guys given such a massive TV show? So let's get in to see what they would change. Yeah, I know we're all interested. It says Game of Thrones creators David Benioff and DB Weiss give an all-time wild answer for what they'd go back and change about the series. And you kind of think like if it's anything less than the final season in its entirety, or maybe the final two seasons, then I don't want to hear about it. Well, guess what? It's not going to be anything about that at all. It says the two men were responsible for bringing the legendary story from George R. R. Martin to TV on HBO, and it was a smash hit for several years. Even through the bad seasons at the end, I'd say it was a smash hit for basically the entire time it was on, wasn't it? It says, however, the final season was nothing short of an unmitigated disaster, and that's an understatement. It says, it ended with Daenerys going on an absolute slaughter after Jon wouldn't have sex with her. He then kills her, and Bran ends up on the throne. So, spoiler alert. As I've said before, any story arc that exists because a main character didn't get to have sex is just comically stupid. I never saw it that way, but now that I think about it, after I read the article, it's like, yeah, that's kind of true. It says Game of Thrones creators discuss what they changed. It says the show ended in 2019, and that should have given Benioff and Weiss plenty of time to think about what they do differently. Change the ending, have someone other than Arya kill the Night King, which would have made more sense because she literally flies out of nowhere to do it, and then the the villain of the character that's made to be the villain of the entire series is basically killed, and it's very nonchalantly, if you will. It's like, okay, that if it was okay, thinking, I'm like, okay, that okay. Well, it's just, I don't even know. As you can, I can barely talk about it right now because it still baffles me. Certainly, there must be some big change they'd make, right? Wrong. They'd only like to make a tweak with a very minor character. Says one thing I know I wish we could have done is there was the character Mord the Jailer, Benioff told the Hollywood Reporter when discussing what he changed. Weiss added it was a mistake not bringing Mord the Jailer back into it. Weiss says we always talked about doing it, and that if you remember when Tyrion was at the in the Vale and he was imprisoned, that's this guy right here. And I'm not going to play the video, but basically a totally minor character that practically nobody remembers. So it says, I seriously hope this is trolling. And I have a feeling it probably is, because they're probably getting sick of being asked that question. So they're just probably going to give answers like this. And that's fine. They want to troll. It's all in good fun. Because if not, then Benioff and Weiss must be truly disconnected from the fans and reality. Because Game of Thrones is a masterclass in how to take a show that is incredible and must watch through several seasons and then turn it into a dumpster fire. The show fell off a cliff once the source material from Martin dried up, and that's just a fact. And we can debate it all day long at the author's email address there, which I'm not going to do because I don't have an interest in debating it because whatever. But he's right that basically the show fell off a cliff once the source material from Martin dried up, though I would argue that in the sixth season, even though I never read the books, but I know that the fifth season ends where the books are right now. But the sixth season I thought was actually pretty decent, but the seventh and eighth seasons were kind of okay. Says instead of telling fans they'd like to go back and change the horrible ending, fans get to hear about Mord the Jailer not having a big enough role. Says how is anyone supposed to take these two seriously? The biggest change is there had to be a better motivation for Danny's rampage. After that, her death scene, if it still needed to exist, needed to be much better. I'm not even a Hollywood showrunner, and I know these basic points. Says, well, what would you change about the show? Let me know. It says, let Mord the Jailer be the least of my concerns. Like, it wouldn't even be anything. And I'm surprised nobody's even commented on this. This article, how long has this article been up at this point that I'm recording? It's been 2 days. Um, wow, okay. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know what I'd change. Like I said, I never read the books, so I don't know if I'd input anything into here, but what I would change is certainly the ending in some fashion because dear God, probably almost everything about the last two seasons. But what would you change about the show? Do you think these guys are trolling? Like I said, I think they are. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.